So these are characters from the show Joners, which is on Disney XD.
So if we're going to go through voices, because I don't have text in front of me, and I could just read this water bottle.
Okay.
So for Hannah, I decided to take Hannah differently because her motif is ancient Egypt, and she's kind of got like that whole thing going on, and she's kind of mean all the time. So I was like, she sounds catty, and I'm like, wait a minute, cat. So I was like, if I maybe place her up here where there's a bit of a purr, and it feels almost like there's still that texture that I naturally have, but I place it in a different area where it's like a cat kind of like smelling something disgusting. You know, like when they go to a litter box, they're like,
okay.
So I figured I'm just going to place her here because it evokes a cat for some reason for me. And then, should I tell the whole thing with Debbie about so with Debbie, they wanted to do a Valley Girl, and I was immediately like, no, don't do that. Because I just felt like it kind of wasn't relevant since like 1998. Mm-hmm. So I was like, let's do something different with her. So I thought about, she's very hip hop, and she's really cute and super, super hip hop. She's got like, you know, her old thing going on. And that was her thing, is like she was like on a little like DJ hip hop sort of like kind of team. So I was like, what if I took a bit of Nicki Minaj, and what if I took a little bit of Cardi B and mixed them together? So, you know, Nicki Minaj is kind of in this register, you know, and like she's just kind of like really nasally when she talks a lot, and, you know, and then she's got that accent, and I naturally have that accent because I'm from the area. Because for background, I was raised in Brooklyn, but my dad's actually from the Bronx, and I would go over there on the weekends, and we'd pick up bits of the accent. So I was like, okay, so I'm just going to make it sound like as Bronx as possible, and I'm going to make it talk like really, 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 really fast.
Wow.
And I figured, let me combine those two into one character. So it's very much Nicki Minaj register, Cardi B sort of attitude, you know. She's got kind of like the Cardi B swagger and the attitude and the rapid fire speaking. Also, you know, as someone who's Afro-Latina, I also wanted to recognize Game with another Afro-Latina artist that I really, really admire, and that's definitely her for me. And then with Laurel, for Laurel, I just placed her all the way up here, and I gave her a British accent because I figured if she's all the way up here, she's probably not going to project a lot. So I was able to do that because she's a little bit more shy. Oh, sorry, I bumped the mic a little bit. But, you know, she's a bit more shy, so I just put her all the way up here. And two of my exes were British, so I was able to just stay in that accent for hours and hours and not, like, have to worry about it. And then, God, what was the other one I had? Oh, Max. Max is just my normal voice because we ran out of voices. And I also didn't want too many. So I was like, well, that's it. All right, there. I got this one. I got this one. You got like 2 accents. A bunch of registers. That's all I can give you. Sorry. But then for Mama Kiki, or like, well, I guess I'm this one too. Okay, I got to think of something. All right, there we go. So for Mama Kiki, I placed her all the way in my teeth because the thing about old people is that old people, when people think of old people, they tend to think, oh, well, they lost all their teeth. They sound all gummy and gross. But that's not really the case. What's really happening 9 times out of 10 is that they have dentures, and they're over-reliant on the alveolar ridge in order to speak. So if you speak into that ridge a little bit, and you add a bit of texture and elongate certain things, you're going to sound like an old woman, you know. It was just one of those things that would happen, you know. And then, who else am I? Wow. Sachi! For Sachi's a very tall, sort of like a masculine-looking female character, very broad, so I decided I'm actually going to push into my chest for this and make it work and not have to put an accent on it because I've done that for all of the other characters. So I really had to like pull from all of my range and put accents on a bunch of characters in order to make it work. And it did. So I'm pleased as punch.
Wow.
He's happy. Yep. The client's happy. I'm happy. I can take a nap.
That's
it's all
awesome.
good. Like,